Let me ask you something. Do you feel like you're doing everything right, being responsible, working hard, taking care of everyone else, but somehow life still feels a little stuck? Have you ever wondered if maybe you're afraid to fail? Because here's the twist no one tells us growing up. Failure is not the thing holding you back. Your fear of failure is. And today I'm going to flip everything you thought you knew about failure on its head, because it might actually be the most powerful personal growth tool you have. If you've been white-knuckling life, trying to do everything perfectly and still feeling like you're spinning your wheels, this might be the mindset shift that changes everything. So grab your coffee, get comfortable, and let's talk about why failure might actually be your superpower. The real reason we stay stuck. Here's the thing most of us don't realize. We aren't stuck because we lack motivation. We are stuck because we are trying not to fail. And when you're trying not to fail, you do something very sneaky. You start shrinking your life. You lower the bar. You talk yourself out of the big idea before you even try it. You tell yourself things like, maybe it's too late. Maybe I'm not qualified enough. That could go terribly wrong. And slowly, the dream you were once excited about quietly disappears. Not because you couldn't do it, but because your brain was trying to protect you from failing. But here's the part that blew my mind when I first learned it. Failure isn't actually painful. The story we tell ourselves about failure is what hurts. Your brain sees failure and thinks, well, I totally screwed that up. I'm not good enough. I should have this figured out by now. But none of that is fact. That's just a thought your brain made up. And by the way, if your inner critic is loud, like really loud, I have a free guide called 6 Steps to Quiet Your Inner Judge. Because that voice in your head, it doesn't have to run the show. Link is in the description. Let me tell you a quick story. A woman in one of my coaching programs told me she had been sitting on a business idea for 6 years. 6 years. She had notebooks full of plans, research, ideas. She was brimming with excitement and passion for her project, but she never started. Why? Because she was afraid it wouldn't work. She was afraid people would judge her. She was afraid she might fail. And when we really dug into it, she said something I'll never forget. She said, if I never try, I never have to find out my idea sucks. Oof, that hit hard. Because here's the truth. Perfectionism is not about high standards. Perfectionism is just a fear of failure. Wearing lipstick, it looks responsible. But what it's actually doing is keeping you safe and stuck at the same time. The psychology of failure. Your brain is wired to avoid discomfort, and failure feels uncomfortable. So your brain tries to protect you by saying things like, wait until you're ready, do more research, make sure it's perfect first. But here's the problem. Growth requires risk. Creativity requires risk. Confidence requires risk. And when we avoid failure, we also avoid the experiences that actually build confidence. Which is why the people who grow the fastest aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail quickly and often. There's a famous quote from Thomas J. Watson, the founder of IBM. He said, if you want to succeed, double your rate of failure. And most of us are over here trying to fail 0 times. We've been playing the game completely backwards. So what if we flipped the whole thing? What if failure wasn't the opposite of success? What if it was actually the path to it? Think about every skill you've ever learned: driving, your career, relationships, parenting. You didn't get those right on the first try. You messed up, you adjusted, you tried again. That is failing forward. We just never called it that. But the people who build the lives they really want, they don't avoid failure. They expect it. They treat it like data, information, feedback. Instead of saying, ugh, I'm terrible at this, they say, okay, that went sideways. What did I learn here? That tiny shift changes everything. And if this whole perfectionism overthinking loop has been running your life for years, That is exactly what my program Master Your Mind is designed to change, because this video can give you the mindset shift. But inside the program, we actually retrain the way your brain responds to fear, failure, and self-doubt. So if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and start growing, check out the link below. How to start failing forward. So how do you actually practice this? Because just fail more isn't very helpful advice. Here are 4 ways to start. First, decide ahead of time what failure means. Instead of, I messed up, try, this is data, I'm learning. Your brain believes the story you repeat. Choose a better one. Second, stop waiting for the perfect conditions. The good enough version of the thing will change your life. The A+ version that never actually happens will not. Third, get curious instead of critical. Instead of asking, why am I so bad at this? Ask, interesting, what actually happened here? Curiosity opens doors. Shame slams them shut. Fourth, fail faster. The faster you try and fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you grow. Confidence is not built by thinking about things. It's built by doing things and leaning into the failure. I now ask myself regularly, how can I fail gloriously today? Every one of my face plants has led me to the greatest growth and progress on the other side. So here's the takeaway. Failure is not the thing that stops you. Fear of failure is. And fear? That's just a thought. And thoughts can be changed. The version of you who takes the swing, misses sometimes, learns, adjusts, and keeps going, that you is unstoppable. So here's my challenge for you this week. Fail at something. On purpose. Try the thing you've been overthinking. Send the email, post the imperfect picture. Take the swing. And if it doesn't go perfectly, good, that means you're finally in the game. And if you want help quieting that inner critic while you're doing it, grab the free guide in the description. And if you're ready to go deeper, Master Your Mind is waiting for you there too. Subscribe for more mindset shifts like this, and I'll see you in the next video.